Welcome to the Squad Games Podcast. Squad Games Podcast.
You can get a entire house purchased, owned under your name, and you wouldn't have to worry about working. You still can if you want, but you can never play tabletop again. Would you do it?
Will I have access to the house, or it's just Cam using my ID?
No, it's like it's your house. Like you own the house and you don't have to worry about working unless you want to. But again, you can't play tabletop ever again. Or paint or do anything related to it.
Hell yeah.
Dang, he'd give up tabletop. I wouldn't do it.
Nope.
I'll become the sweaty tabletop simulator man.
Oh, nice.
It's a video game.
Ah. This man, giving away your integrity.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of things happened this week, like a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff. So there was 2 teams announced, and then for some reason, we have more rules and knowledge of these teams than we ever have of the Nightmare box, which is supposed to come before
it's
this
wild.
box. We do know that the Nightmare box is getting some sort of a battle report coming up pretty soon. So maybe even by tomorrow, my statement is already defunct. But for almost a week, at least, we've known more about Brood Brothers and the Jaegers than we have about the Mandrakes and the Night Lords. A little weird.
A little weird.
It's obviously
a little weird. Games Workshop. A little weird.
Like that was back in January.
So imagine if we have to wait 2 more months for Brood Coven for the Brood Brothers and Jaegers, just like we've had to wait at least 2 months now. For I mean, dude, we had the Night Lords announced in November.
What?
Yeah,
November, like right at Worlds, they
Seriously?
announced Night Lords. Yeah.
Wow,
In
the release
January,
schedule
we
has
just
been a
got
nightmare for this box.
It is. We have known about Night Lords for over 4 months.
That's
and then
gross.
and then 2 months later, we learned about Mandrakes. And then we learned about the next box set 2 months later and learned so many of their rules. And we still don't know shit about
Night
the
Lords and
Mandrakes.
Mandrakes.
And it's great. The impatience of Kill Team is grating at times. So that happened.
They did. Which is
Flash-
fun,
Yeah, Halo Flashpoint was announced at Adepticon, which was really cool.
I'm game for it. Do you know if it's going to be on sprues?
It doesn't. The models do not look like they're from sprues. They look like they're probably.
Right?
They look like they went the cool mini or not. Now, I'm not super familiar with Mantic. I think we have somebody here who does buy Mantic products. Alex,
Who is Mantic?
Mantic Games?
doesn't Mantic Games make the Space Nam?
No, those are Reptilian Overlords who sculpted it, and War Games Atlantic makes it. So I have no idea what Mantic is.
They did Kings of War. Like that was one thing you could buy a lot of skeletons. That was what I was always told to use. This is to my knowledge, this is their first big IP.
It's a lie. They have Hellboy too.
Oh, they do have Hellboy. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is their first big IP that I recalled.
But I will say that Halo's way bigger than Hellboy.
Is it
So you
bigger
still
than this
might be right.
podcast?
It probably is.
It definitely is.
It definitely is.
I just wanted to say our title before we got too far in.
That's true. That's true.
What's the scale for these? They look kind of nice.
I'm going to assume 28. Because
I hope it's 28 because I already pre-ordered the box.
they said the Kings of War was really good for like skeletons for Age of Sigmar. So I assumed that they already had kind of like, put them side by side.
Yeah.
We're like, it's about the same size.
Those would be great Kazrican proxies.
Yeah, it happens on a
Yep.
2 foot by 2 foot board, so it's pretty interesting.
I got that reference. I hope Dakotah did. He made it.
No, I mean,
did.
honestly, it would be.
Oh,
What just happened? I
Alex
was
said
reading.
that those Halo models would be a good stand-in for Kasserkin,
Oh, they probably would. Yeah,
but you also made a Halo team for Kasserkin as a commission.
I sure did, and I'm working on something else for Dallas. That might have to do with the Halo universe.
Exciting.
Interesting. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about Halo Flashpoint. We're going to talk about Adepticon, Shane winning it, the Command Point podcast, proving to us all that he's a badass, as he always has been. And we're going to talk a little bit about something called Hobby Highlander, and then we're going to give our guesses for the next teams and also talk about what little information we have so far regarding the next kill teams, all 4 of them, and what we think is going to happen. So today we have Alex Xander Popov.
Hello.
He's a good friend of ours. He's come to the majority of all of our events.
I think he's missed one, maybe.
A couple, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Alex is a badass, and even Orion likes him a lot.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Even? You make it sound like he doesn't like people.
I mean, he plays Felgor and Gellerpox all the time. So, I mean, how much can he actually like us normal humans?
Deep down in his human heart, he does.
You mean his Gellerpox heart?
It's surrounded by a series of carbohydrates.
Yeah, because he's a chef.
He
probably likes everyone a lot because he cooks for everyone. And I can tell you, he makes the bombest ass food. But this is not a podcast about how amazing Orion is. Okay, guys, stop trying to guide us in that direction. All right,
go in there.
It's so easy. But yeah, so there's also a little bit of stats that we have not gone over. That I also wanted to say.
I do love your stats.
Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about today. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
But right before we get to that, I just want to make our little announcement, get this thing out of the way. If you're looking to pick up miniatures for some of these new miniatures that are coming out, maybe one of these 4 kill teams will finally be available on Frontline Gaming's website once they're released. And if you do, you can use the link in the description below to buy yourself those kill teams or other, wargaming products. Or if you're going to any of their events, anything you use through that link costs you no additional charge. And we get a small kickback, which is always nice. And that helps us out a lot.
It does. Firstly, I want to shout out Saya and Alex for helping us film so much stuff on Sunday. It's pretty great. They're awesome, and it was a lot of fun. Speaking of that, let's talk about it.
Yay!
It's called Hobby Highlander.
There's a lot of setting up, and this was a culmination of a few months of work, and then we just did it.
Mm-hmm. And it went pretty well.
Yeah. So Hobby Highlander is like, it's essentially a show that I cooked up where me and Giacomo are blindly testing paints. And we give them a score between 1 to 100. And we decide on what paint is the best and deserves to be the number 1. And we're specifically at the moment doing it color-wise. So we had a great time. We filmed 3 episodes, and very soon are going to film a couple more. We got to edit them, and then we're going to start putting them on YouTube. If it sounds interesting to you, you should definitely check it out. Alex, you were there. Did the results surprise you at all?
They did. They did surprise me, and the process was very entertaining.
Good. Hopefully we can change that or make that entertainment go to the edited version as well.
Yeah, and he's not just saying that because we had him at knife point.
No,
he did it
no.
out of his own volition.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say
There-
gunpoint.
There were other points. Yes.
At his own
Multiple points.
flashpoint.
And at the dog point.
Oh, I thought you did get a souvenir.
You did. You did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
I did.
welcome. No, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That was rude of me.
It's fine.
Yeah, so we tested the very first episode that we do is white. So what is the best white paint out there? And we definitely went in with very opinionated thoughts, and then we had a good time. And the results may surprise everyone. One of us was definitely right at some point during filming.
Mhm. While
It was
others were
also
definitely wrong.
Yeah. Alex, which was your favorite episode? 1, 2, or 3 that we filmed?
Production wise, the last episode felt the smoothest.
Okay.
Catching up with the flow. The most hilarious one was the first one, where I knew what you were testing and how you were just trashing, just basically burying yourself deeper and deeper into the ground. Well, it was beautiful. It was hard to keep a straight face.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, we had a lot of fun filming it. I think the first one was like an hour. How long was it? An hour and 40 minutes.
Hour and 40
filming. The second one was an hour and 10, and the third one we got down all the way down to 40 minutes. So, there's a little bit of learning curve, us figuring things out, doing stuff, setting up. We set up 4 Sony cameras, and
The setup took like an hour and a half almost, even though we
just
already had
on
it the night
Saturday, the day before,
Yeah, the day
we
before
spent
Saturday
the
was
entire
worse.
day.
Yeah. Just figuring out why the cameras were not syncing up in the timing. And
Yeah,
only to
and-
realize that we would put them in the wrong slot.
Yep. We definitely put them in the 3.1 slots, the capture cards, and instead of putting them into the
3.2s.
yeah, it
That was
was,
it. And I thought the 3.0s would have been fine, because they've worked before, but I guess we've never tried to do
not on this
what we did today.
motherboard.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a new motherboard.
Because on the stream it was fine. Like when we did it for the stream, it was very, very interesting. So, well, now we know.
Yeah, we also were testing audio, getting all that down. Unfortunately, there is about a minute of the episode that's scripted. Typically, we don't like scripting, but we have to kind of tell you how it works.
There's got to be something, right? There's rule books.
There is,
There's-
and then there's also some amazing surprises that we've been filming over a while, and we really are super excited to share this with the community and with everyone. So once this releases, I really hope that you guys go out there, like it, and if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But something that we've been pouring a lot of time and heart and energy into, because we think it's going to be super entertaining, and it was a lot of fun to film. So
I liked it. Yeah, it was fun to just do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, what was your favorite part of filming that?
Oh, my favorite part was that cooling rig for a camera that you
Oh, yeah.
it's on the spot, and I was surprised it worked, because I was waiting there for it to shut down like maybe 30 minutes longer than it did before, but it worked.
It did.
Surprised.
So we had a problem in our filming when we were like setting up, and the very first episode took us such a long time because when we were filming, we had to nail the lines down, the very intro part, like how Hobby Highlighter works and what it is. But like one of our cameras kept overheating. It's a brand new camera, so it just kept shutting off. So we went down to Walgreens down the street, and we got a
little neck fan.
a little neck fan that points up at your head, and I just put 2 batteries in it, and I turned it on underneath the camera, and it kept it cool. So
No,
Little
it's
bit of
camera air cooling solution. Sell it for $500.
Hey, you know what? My laptop used to my old gaming laptop had that, and I bought a cooling pad, which is just 2 fans.
mhm,
It works.
it does.
But the real, not the real, but the favorite moment everybody can see eventually is when you could actually hear the winner in the paints by expressed not by words but just pure nerdgasm. The sounds that those guys made when they're, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. That's a
Oh,
solid
no.
paint. That's amazing. Yeah. That was the best.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I need that paint too.
We definitely are. It definitely changed the way I look at paints, and it was pretty.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
some brands surprised me by how much.
Oh yeah,
because I was such a hater, and now I completely changed. I can't say which ones, but you know.
yeah. It's interesting, like how much marketing there is that goes out there, and like what is the best paint, or what's good, what's not, and which companies actually do like. Which companies actually have great pigment or great paints, but also like it varies from color to color. It varies from product to product. It's very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering actually. When we get down to just regular colors like yellow, slightly duller yellow, brighter yellow, do they vary as much as those most important and distinct colors do, or they're pretty consistent within one brand? That's what would be interesting
Guess we'll
to
find
see.
out.
Well, firstly we'll find out, but I do think they're going to change. I think they're going to vary from brand to brand, especially from what we've seen. Like, man, we shit on a color for sure. A couple times. Like I did it. I was like, how the fuck did I pay for this paint? This is like fucking trash. This is awful.
It was. The best part about the show, you can actually see it. It's side by side comparison. That's the best part. That's the informative part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a top down camera, and we have a camera for the two of us, a camera that is trained on me, and a camera that's trained on G. The goal is to have these come out once a week. And have them in seasons. So after season 1, we're going to have a trophy case that we're going to put a bunch of paints in, which are the Highlanders for that season. And, because there can only be one white. Exactly. So, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully you guys are interested in it. We are quite excited to jump to a new media that's not just talking. So it should be fun. We're really excited about it.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. So G, you in the car, you were telling me that you were actually kind of nervous to start doing that. And
yeah.
And what kind of calmed your nerves?
Well, I wasn't sure what to expect, and then we just did the first one, and after we did the first part and got into the meat of it, it just flowed after that. Like now I knew what I expected. And then the next episode, same thing. And then after that, same thing. And then I didn't have any more butterflies. They're all out of there.
Good.
Yeah. It's never really know what to expect the first time. It sort of was, you might not know this 100% because I think the first time we did our podcast, we definitely kind of had a little bit of scripting and re-recording the first bit, but it was the same way like that. And now that we just do it so many times and so often, it feels like second nature almost, outside of maybe doing some ad reads, because ad reads always feel impersonal.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's interesting because it definitely took me back to the very first time we ever did anything. I'm sure the editing is going to be also the same, kind of like figuring it out compared to like where we are now with the Squad Games podcast, right?
Exactly.
So, definitely looking to learn, to grow, and become better at videography and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I can tell you, we have a fuck ton of cameras and a fuck ton of lights. So
now maybe in the future, it'll be space, but that's in time. I'm not worried about that.
In time. So, we're going to move on to the next one, which is a Halo Flashpoint. I'm a big Halo fan.
I too am a fan of the Halos.
How about you, Alex?
I pirated it once.
Say yes.
It was good, but there was no multiplayer, so I'm kind of on a different page. I played single player Halo.
What are you, a PlayStation guy?
So when I was in high school, a good option was to get Xbox 360 because you could jailbreak it and get download games for free. Don't advertise it. Just I condemn it and repent, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you couldn't play multiplayer, which was like the reason why
I
you
didn't
played
even
it.
understand how would you play console multiplayer. What the hell? But my
Really?
console before that was Sega Genesis.
Oh my
Did you not have
God.
a friend to play with you with your Sega
don't-
Genesis?
No, I mean, yeah, but not on the internet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
this was when
Okay.
you were. This is when you were in Russia, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's
But
Wild West.
but Halo 1 was only multiplayer through LAN and console. You couldn't do it online yet, not till Halo 2.
I don't think it was Halo. I think it was Halo 3.
Yeah,
Oh, so you got a
Giacomo.
360.
He said
and
360.
Oh, sorry, I thought I heard
did
regular
not.
Xbox.
I did not
My
know
bad, my bad.
Xbox existed before 360 either.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
when
my
he
bad,
was
my
playing
bad.
Sega, we were playing Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Yes, that is correct.
Actually,
and-
I need to point something out. I had a Nintendo 64 when all my friends got PlayStation 2s and GameCubes. So I missed out on the Xbox era. I got in at 360, actually.
What is Nintendo 64? Nintendo.
It's
I'm
Nintendo.
wondering if it's the same thing that was rebranded as Dandy.
Dandy 62. I don't know.
Dandy
Is that like
69.
is that like? Does it like ride a bear or something?
No, it's an elephant. Actually, the mascot is an elephant. I have no idea.
Dandy.
I'm going. The Putin rides the bear rides Putin, or something like that.
No, that was before Putin. He was undercover then. It was before. It was before 2000.
Oh, no. This Dandy is older. This is more of like a Super NES and an NES knockoff
Yeah, so it's something. Yeah, knockoff of something. Because
of the Famicom.
Sega Genesis was not called Genesis either. It was Sega Mega Drive 2.
Wild.
Oh,
It's wild.
But we're getting away from Halo Flashpoint.
yeah. But I mean, this is related, right? So I mean, so I've always liked Halo. I started in Xbox. I'm sorry, our cultural differences makes us so different, Alex.
It's okay.
It was introduced to me when I was young. According to G, he just likes the later versions, but I was a big Halo 1 fan. Didn't start playing multiplayer until Halo 2, which is possibly the best of all Halo games out there. Halo 3 and Reach were also good, but number 2 is just gold, to say the least.
It was very hard. Playing Legendary on 2 is the hardest one you can do.
Yeah.
It's super punishing.
That and Gears of War were my childhood.
Oh, man. Gears of War was such a good game.
It really was.
That's a bro
And-
game right there.
It is. It is. So, have you guys had a chance to look at Halo Flashpoint?
Yes.
I have not, but I'm looking at their website and it looks like they're aiming to step on GW's toes.
I want to point out that this is their second big IP. I had it wrong earlier today.
I mean, $50 for one miniature, a brush, 8 army painter war paints, and 2 game cards.
Wait, you get a miniature with the painting set?
Yeah, so paint set, $50.
Yeah, it's Army
I
Painter.
understand what you mean now.
It's Army Painter paint too.
Yeah, but they're kind of.
But I can tell you,
thing.
I can tell you this: that green will not look like that on the model. It's just one green color. So
You probably you will mix to get that, but you need to mix like a god if you out of those paints.
not with those paints. Not with those paints.
And they're probably a different shelf life. Like one of them is close to die.
Yeah.
Super liquid.
Well, I think they're the new war. They're the new war paint fanatics. So
oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it back. They're all new.
Yeah, so it's going to be
supposedly it's the best paint range out there according to Army Painter, and we cannot confirm or deny that because Army Painter didn't reach back out to us when we asked for their paints early. So we can't test Army Painter paints until they come out to the public. Yet,
Next time.
maybe one day. Maybe one day.
would be cool to have them on Hobby Highlander.
They will be featured on Hobby Highlander once we're able to buy some of their paints. But until then, all the other companies are going to get free marketing from us.
Can I point out something about Halo Flashpoint on the website or their website for it?
Sure.
You see a lot of like multiplayer footage, and I don't mean multiplayer footage of two people playing the tabletop game. I mean from straight up like Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Yeah. Have you not read the thing yet, G? It's amazing. Like,
no, I understand that part, but I figured like they were going to show off. They show off the miniatures, but I thought they were going to try to focus more on like the terrain and stuff. Because it's like this looks like they're trying to sell me on Halo Infinite, which I used to play. I'm already sold on that part.
So what's super exciting about this, right, is the game mode or how you score points and win in this particular game is Slayer. So it's just straight killing. It's oddball or capture the flag. In this game.
Which is pretty cool.
And when you die, there is a respawn.
Did you ever play Action Clicks?
Is that like an action hero? I mean, the hero clicks like a variant.
It uses the click system like Horror Clicks did.
I think so.
Yes, and
with Halo.
Yeah, Action Click. I think that was their only line. I think they were going to do a Gears of War, and then they just moved that to Hero Clicks because Halo Action Clicks died.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I own so many of the models though. I almost own the entire range.
I still do too, and I gave them to my son. Because I don't give two shits about how they were so bad. They're so bad. Like I could literally make Kasserkin look better than actual modeled Halo models.
They were very whatever, but I'm still sad that I had the chance to buy the Target Arbiter and Chief, and I never did. Like it was there. I held it in my hands, and I was like, I just don't want to buy this today. Damn. And I kind of wish I had it. It's not that it's expensive online either. You could get it. It's relatively normal priced for being aged. Just one of those like, dang. So close to completing the set.
What do you mean? What is this Arbiter? What are you talking about?
So in Action Clicks, they had a Target exclusive set, which was Master Chief and Arbiter in the box set. And that was it. I just wanted to play that out. But yes, so like you mentioned with the respawn mechanic, Action Clicks use the same mechanic. So I'm wondering if I guess maybe they're not taking from it. It's just a very common thing in multiplayer games is to respawn.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, they've really focused on making this game much more like Halo. The other interesting thing is that on the cards, they have like a movement statistic, and it's based upon a grid, and there's this grid on each mat. So, of course, you have to buy the mat to play the game, but
you could draw it.
It's yeah, you probably could, but it's really interesting because they'll move like 2 or 3 squares, but you can put them anywhere in whatever square you want. So like, it's not like an inch by inch square. The square is big enough where I think the squares look like they're about 2 by 2. So like they still have like about a 6-inch movement, but they have like, you can place them anywhere in that square. So it gives you like variability of where you can place your models and put them. It's very fascinating. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to try that just because it's not using a tool that's completely new. So in a way, positioning, and not that it doesn't matter, but it's more simplified. Like I remember, what was it? Shatterpoint was trying to do that.
Really?
I mean, they did do it. Obviously, it succeeded. People are still buying the game. So this is cool. It's nice to not have to carry as many tools, but then they give you all these the next mechanic, which is the picking up weapons on the battlefield mechanic.
Oh, yeah. They also have that.
Which is, so, you lose that tool, but you get this tool instead. I'm for it. I think it's cool. It makes for like an interesting kind of game.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty fucking cool. The fact that you're not relegated to just use your gun. Like you can go and, pick up now, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably not going to play this game.
So all of that is in Flashpoint?
Yep.
Damn, they stole my idea.
Did they?
Yeah, I was thinking about how can I make a tabletop Quake arena.
Oh, yeah?
It's exactly that.
Doesn't mean they're not going to do it later, because if this video game crossover works, they'll be like, hey, Mantic, you want to do another one?
No, I like that movement system from what I've heard. I didn't read anything. I just learned it from you guys. It's amazing. But I would love it for a different reason that, when you bump terrain a millimeter the wrong way, you're not doomed because the board does not move ever. So you know for sure where it can go.
Yeah, and that's good because I guess the cover system is very similar. What they have a special rule with their dice, which I really enjoy, depending on whether you're shooting from an angle, whether you have a certain weapon, or whether your opponent's in cover, you gain dice for your attack. So you can have a stronger attack when you have a better opportunity to shoot. So like everyone starts with 3 dice, kind of like not kind of like bolt action. Bolt action is everyone hits on a 3, but modifiers reduce your chance of hitting somebody. So in this sense, modifiers either increase your chance of hitting somebody or reduce it, which I think is awesome. I really enjoy that kind of system.
That's cool.
I will say that the models look incredible.
Mm-hmm. And Mantic Game has been improving their model game for a while, so I'm really confident in these models, even if they're not multi-part.
What worries me a tad is the bases look like garbage.
They're very boring.
I'm wondering if these bases are just MDF, cut pieces of MDF.
I don't think so. I think that's their plastic that's built in.
There's no way that's plastic.
You're saying it, and I see it too now.
They look like MDF bases. 100%.
I think those are the plastic. Like, so if you look at the models here, the red and blue ones, they're all put on a stand, right? So I think it's just those.
Hold on, Giacomo. I'll just send you a picture.
Send me that pic.
Probably not. Hold on. Continue because it will take a second.
That's fine. I got the magic of editing behind me.
These are so they're so bad that they literally the bases are so bad that they took the models and they put the models on a fake 3D render of a base.
I sent it to you, G.
Oh man. Okay, yeah. This one absolutely does look like that.
It's jank.
But the thing is if you've seen the website now and you've seen the models, like they're on what is clearly a red model on a red base. It doesn't look spray painted. I think that's the way their plastic comes because Mantic makes other models that are also on red and blue colors and they're attached to a base. So I don't know where this one's coming from, but that's interesting.
It's definitely interesting. I don't know. Like these are just the prototypes, right? I'm sure that they give 2 shits about the bases. I hope it's not.
They might be the high quality, 3D printed one versions or they usually do for miniatures.
Yeah. I could see something like that happening.
Right. And they were just like, fuck the base, whatever, make it whatever.
Yeah. No one's going to look at them except for the Squad Games podcast. Jeez.
Because I mean, look, if this is not soft plastic, I'm okay with that. Because then you could snip the bases off if you wanted and put like a more dynamic base. Because realistically,
oh, you're right, huh?
Yeah, realistically, like since this game doesn't really worry about where you're going to land position wise, like your base can be taller and that's okay.
Yeah,
and you can have maybe a slightly wider base. Try to keep it the same because I imagine that'll just be beneficial.
Yeah, once I get this, I'll let everyone know if they are relatively the GW size or not, because I definitely already paid for it. So it is coming to my house one day. I'm
considering, because I have until the 30th to do the pre-order. I don't know if I need the Spartan edition, though.
Yeah, but if you don't get the Spartan edition, then you don't get Master Chief with the power sword.
I could buy the paint set.
Why do you want to buy a bunch of Warpaint Fanatic when it's not even out yet? We're gonna get it anyways for Hobby Highlander.
Maybe, but because you get the promotional Master Chief with it.
Yeah,
in the paint set, which again, like I think Master Chief's cool and all, but like I don't know, I feel like it's still fun just to play Spartans.
I agree.
Are there different human factions in Halo? I see blue people and red people.
Oh, yes. So you're seeing the Swahili, a.k.a. the Elites, also known as... I forget what these ones are called from Infinite. Not the Fallen, the Betrayed. I forget what they're called.
So the reason why you're seeing red and blue is that these are all different Spartans that you get. And all these Spartans are based off of Reach and a bunch of other games. But it's very much memed on that there's a YouTube video, like a very famous YouTube series that's a red versus blue, and it's red Spartans versus blue Spartans, and then obviously they're running with that meme. Even when I painted the things I had to include red.
You
and
had to
blue.
have red and blue.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Alex, since he never got to play multiplayer, he doesn't know that by default when you play online, you're chosen on a red or blue team. So
yeah, that's all right,
well.
Alex. One of these days we'll get Halo and we'll play online.
The 360 is very affordable now.
Yeah.
We could just play the Master Chief Collection. I almost wanted to get it for you for Christmas.
Is it still supported though? Can you still play online with it?
Hell yeah, dude. Master Chief Collection was made for modern days.
Wow.
Now, a lot of people say it's kind of whack because it's weird, but like I still like it. Okay.
Yeah, their most recent game, I don't know. But the old games are
way fun.
Badass.
Yeah.
They're just the best, like, critical, what the fuck is that game called? Fuck.
Crisis Protocol?
Not Crisis Protocol. It's just like Modern Warfare. So sorry, I'm just going to say Modern Warfare. Counter-Strike. Sorry, Counter-Strike fans and Modern Warfare fans. I think Halo had it at the peak of all first-person shooters.
It's the most fun, in my opinion.
Good. I mean, now you have like Valorant and Overwatch, but we don't talk about Overwatch 2 anymore because
those are hero shooters. Yeah,
Blizzard is Blizzard,
and Blizzard did Blizzard things.
Yeah,
uninstall all of that and helldive some planets.
Play some Helldive.
Save democracy.
Dude, I saw the Helldive miniatures.
Yeah, they're amazing. It's an amazing scheme to paint your Kazakhin as, actually.
Space Marine 2 is where it's going to be at. Kill some Tyranids.
I'm looking forward to that game this year as well. One thing I wanted to point out about Flashpoint before I think we're pretty much running out of gas on Flashpoint because we pretty much explained the whole game. They do plan on doing more factions, which is why since Dakota's ordering the Spartan edition, he's going to get the 4 elites, which I wonder if they're going to have are they going to have more health or something? Are they going to move a little different? And if so, will they eventually release like ODST as their own faction? Different, and the Forerunner faction, some Flood faction, I imagine. Because if this is successful, right?
I would say that if this is a success for them, they'll probably end up doing that.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes sense to do a skirmish game because Microsoft is like, hey, you got to make sure this game is going to be good. The IP will sell. And we know that skirmish game sells because skirmish games are affordable. And as we get older, it's harder to find time to play big war games, even though I like them. So I still stick with Kill Team.
Yeah, the one thing that I dislike about this is how many tokens there are. And I think that the amount of tokens, the dice, all that kind of stuff, I could see the game taking a while rather than it just being something like to pull out of a box and start playing real quick. But who knows? We'll have to see. Pretty exciting.
It's very exciting. Are you going to play this, Alex?
Probably no.
I didn't say collect.
I joined this hobby for Warhammer. I'll probably stick with Warhammer.
That's fair.
I'm going to get this for Val because she plays
I'm a fanboy.
That way you'll have to play with her.
First, you'll have to explain to her what's Halo.
Oh no! I thought she does video games for a living.
Not those videos. Those are dead. Microsoft has them. It's okay.
Yeah, but at one point they were really cool.
Yeah, we missed it. Unfortunately.
So let's move on to Adepticon. There's some very interesting things for Adepticon. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players 6 players. Holy shit! That only played 2 games at Adepticon this year.
Yeah, I saw that too. That's weird.
And what's more interesting is because of the flawed system of the opponent game win percentage that people love. 54th place is a player who played 4 games.
Huh.
How many players were that total?
Here, let me send this to y'all.
It was about 60, right?
What looked very weird on paper to me was that 8th place.
I'll tell you. I'll explain that in a second.
Okay.
We'll go through that.
Okay, I was weirded out.
Yeah, everyone was like freaking out as why this happened. Nova did the same thing. It causes a ruckus. I don't agree with it, but that's why there's multiple tournament organizers, so people can do things different. It makes the scene interesting. Causes a little bit of drama. What else is interesting about this as well? Let's see if this is the highest place it is. The highest placed person with 2 wins or 2 games. I think they won 1 and they lost 1. I believe. Yeah. I think. I'm colorblind, so I can't see those 2 colors, but they look different, maybe. Placed 45th. And below him, I can't tell. It looks like there's 3 players as well who have 3 tournament points. Yeah, so he has a win. So he has 3 tournament points. So there's 3 people below him with 4 games as well who have a worse opponent game win percentage. Thus meaning, so here's the problem with win percentage. When people drop, it ruins the percentage, right? It does. That's why at Worlds they say you're not allowed to drop when you come here, and if you drop, you cannot participate in any future Warhammer World events, right? There's literally a rule in the packet. So like the fact that all these people dropped, like there's a fuck ton of drops. Like I think there's all the way up to 37th place. So over half of the tournament dropped. Whoa. And what's interesting is since there was brackets, let's see here. Yeah. Since there was brackets at this tournament, that means like literally half the people didn't show up day 2. Now this is the interesting thing, and something that I have arguments with TOs about, is that everyone is saying that like brackets make it so that people come back more because they might win something. This is 100% showing that that's not the case. Look at the attendance at LVO and how many people dropped from starting LVO till the next day. Now there was a lot of sickness going around, so I will blame some of the drops on it. But we sold 160 tickets, 130 people showed up, and by the end of the event, we still had over 90 players play. Right? And that was a pure Swiss event because we had a lot of best in factions. We had a lot of other awards that we could give to people rather than, best in bracket events. But what's weird is that this person in 54th place played 4 games and they got last place. How is that fair? Because he played a bunch of people who dropped.
Oh yeah, the guy just above him played only 2 games and lost both of them.
Exactly. How is that fair? How does the tournament organizer not go in and change this? Because like, okay, so I played a bunch of people who lost or who dropped, right? And like, so this other person who played who in 49th place had an opponent win percentage of 75 because he played Jason Fay and Brett Ross. Like, so they went on to have a bunch of other wins. So he just automatically gets placed way above the person who actually spent their time, stayed at the tournament and scored points. Like he had 42 points compared to the guy who only stayed for 2 games and got 29 points. Like objectively, in my opinion, he should be higher. I think it's a little ridiculous. At least make the opponent win percentage 3rd place. Yeah. That's my rant. All right. So moving on to the top cut and the top placings. The reason why this event ended up so weird is on day 2, they had top cuts, which you don't see here, but the top cut equaled out to Shane playing Hyrotech, Adrian Martin from Victory Gamers playing Felgor, Leander from Plasma Spam with Vetguard, Orion playing Gellerpox, Jonathan Reynolds with Wormblade, Janice with Felgor, Rob Poirier playing Breachers, and Ryan J. Clancy with Vetguard. Now there's 2 Vetguards in the top and 2 Felgors in the top. And so they all got matched up. I think it was Ryan had to do a mirror match into Vetguard, and they took the longest of the entire round. Everyone finished before them. But I don't believe clocks were in effect at this tournament. Janice was playing Shane. Orion played Jonathan. Mm-hmm. And then Adrian played Rob. So this is interesting. Hold on. Did this change from earlier today? Huh.
Is that normal for TOs to go in later and modify stuff?
Yeah, it's happened before.
Okay.
We had to do it at SoCal Open. I'm just looking at the win percentages real quick. Okay. So that's so weird. What? Okay, this is even freaking me out. All right, so we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay, so Shane won 7 games, so he got 21 total tournament points. He took higher tech and he won the whole thing, right? In my opinion, I love you, Shane, but I don't know if higher tech are where it's at. I'm still a doubter. He's gonna fucking throw his monitor through the computer when he hears this. Let me tell you why. Okay, whatever Shane touches turns to gold. No one was able to replicate his legionary success. He was the best legionary player in the world, probably still is, but no one could replicate it. I know that he's, I believe, undefeated on the CPTS tournament as well, the TTS tournament, and there's another higher tech player. I don't know if that game has happened yet, but I know that they're doing well there. I will need to see a little bit more from statistics. Otherwise, I'm just going to think it's Shane doing Shane things and being a Shane guy. You know, just
genius.
the man is like, I see the numbers in the code. This is really just the matrix. And I'm just going to win no matter what.
Have you guys seen the Queen's Gambit?
I have. I like that one.
Do you remember when she's looking up at the ceiling and she's just doing like the chess in her head? He's just doing that with Kill Team all the time. He's on drugs and playing Kill Team on the ceiling.
Oh, that's amazing.
Coming.
Yeah. So I think Shane is an amazing player. I still don't think that a normal top player could take higher tech and do as well as he did. I know he had a lot of practice on it. The team takes an enormous amount of brain power and practice, and he was able to beat Felgor handily multiple times. He beat Janice twice. That was mostly by denying her secondaries. They both tied on primaries for the most part. Amazing. It's so hard to beat Felgor's in the first place. If you guys want to hear more about Shane's take on higher tech, you can refer to one of our previous episodes when we had him on talking about higher tech. He doesn't spill all the secrets, but he definitely talks about where they're powerful and what you can do as a player to improve your play with them. Adrian got second with Felgor. What a surprise. His opponent win percentage was 60. He also had 18%. Leander had 60. He had 18 tournament points. Leander with Vetguard got third with 140 points, and Orion got fourth with 18 tournament points and 6 he got 6 wins. Yep. So he also got 18. So they all only lost once, but he had an opponent win percentage of 44%. And 153 total points. So he had the most points in the entire tournament, which is not surprising for Gellerpox Infected. Gellerpox Infected, he is the Geller King.
He's the Geller King.
He is the Geller King. There's no ifs or ands about it. He smashed any Felgor in his path because Gellerpox is great into Felgor. So we had Jonathan Reynolds with Wormblade, which does not surprise me whatsoever. He actually lost 3 games in the tournament, but he had an opponent game win percentage of 72.
Ooh.
So he played against, his last 3 games were against, the top 8. So obviously it's going to be really good. Janice also had 3 games lost and on Felgor Ravagers. Then we had Rob Poirier with Breachers, also 3 losses, and then Ryan J. Clancy. That's the other man himself from Command Point Tactics. Also a badass. Getting top 8 in a tournament like this with all these people is a huge achievement. So Command Point, make sure you go listen to their podcast because they put out great things and do great things for the community. But what was the most surprising thing to you, Alex, when you were looking at this?
Well, the pairing, not pairing, the system itself was surprising to me. I couldn't understand any tournament system before when you ranting about it on podcast, and now I see the root of all evil. When I see that number 8 has 3 wins and number 9 has 6, it's kind of interesting. Interesting system. I'm glad we don't run it here a lot.
So do this. Go to pairings real quick.
Yeah.
Are you on the pairings tab?
I am.
Okay, you see round 7?
Yes.
So go back to round 4. See how there's no brackets whatsoever? So at the end of round 4, go to to round 5. You can see that they took the top 8 after round 4, which is day 1, and gathered them up and put them all in top 8. So now here's the problem with the bracket system, in my opinion. If you're running a bracket system, you have to baby seal club every single person in your way to go undefeated and win. Or score the most amount of points possible if you win. And if you do all those things, then you have a chance to make it into bracket 1. The only good thing about brackets is that you're locked in no matter what. So you can go like what Ryan did and what I did at Nova as well. You can just like crush day 1 and then go day 2 and just like lose every single game
and still be in top
and still get 8th place.
That is right. Annoying.
That's what I did at Nova. Like I was like, all right, yeah. And then I was like, I flew too close to the sun. Flew too close to the sun.
I can lose now.
All right. Then okay.
I can suck again.
Okay.
So
then the real moments that surprised me, besides that was the biggest one. My own ignorance. Now, if we talk about top 10, it's surprising to see Commandos outside of top 8 for once.
Do you know why?
Warp Coven inside top 10.
So here's 2 things for you. Okay. There was only 1 Commandos at this event.
What? Is that even possible?
It is.
Is it legal?
And it is. And on round 4, Ryan had very few victory points compared to Liam. In fact, Liam, the Commandos player, had 151 total points compared to Orion's 153. And remember how I told you how Orion had the most in the tournament? Well, Liam, who got locked into the second bracket, obviously he basically maxed all of day 2, nearly. He went 22, 22, 23. But he hit so many points that if he would have been in 3rd place if we were doing this by points with Commandos. Now, obviously, he didn't play the top 8; he played the bottom 8. But when you look at Warp Coven got locked into a bracket with Commandos, Warp Coven, Hand of the Archon, Phobos, Novitiates, Corsairs, Legionary, and Novitiates again.
Oh my God!
I don't know how he beat them other than
magic.
Into Novitiates, you run a bunch. You can run 10 Zangors, 1 Sorcerer, and like Novitiates just melt under melee horde. So like you just run them at them, and as long as you have a decent map, you're gonna win. Legionary, they can beat Legionary. I don't know what he played. Who did he play against? It doesn't help. He had a bye at some point in time, but he lost the first round, which was probably to Liam, but then he won the rest. So, it's very surprising that he was able to get there. And Dice Dojo was his team, and Rob Poirier was also from Dice Dojo. So they went 7th and 11th. So obviously they're 2 really good practice partners. They probably have a strong team from Rob Poirier. This The name is so familiar. I probably know him at some point in time.
You probably met him.
I probably have. So it's very interesting to see Warp Coven in that spot. But, they're not as bad as everyone gives them, credit for, but they still have bad rules, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is very interesting that Warp Coven had that. Do you want to know what his run with Warp Coven did to the entire faction's overall win rate for this season?
Brought it up by 5%.
85%?
So Warp Coven this season, because he had such a strong outing, there's only 123 games. He won 6 and only lost 1. Probably didn't. Well, it did change something drastically with the team. It brought them out of the minus 45% win rate, and it brought them up to a 46.49% win rate. So,
okay.
So thanks to him, they no longer need a buff.
Yay!
But
they're strong again.
If the balanced data slate is like already, a few weeks back designed or whenever it was designed, they probably have it for all we know.
Yeah, just add Scarab Terminators to the team. That's it.
We can just hope that it's been written and it's coming out soon. We can just hope. It's been too long, GW. It's been too long. It's been since December 14th.
Yeah,
okay, it's been 3.5 months. How much longer do we have to wait for news?
We have 6 more days before the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
So don't taunt them. They can go longer.
I know. Trust me. We've
been in those powers.
We've been in the cults meta for long enough.
The summer is still going.
The Felgor is still strong.
So a little bit more about stats since we've opened that chapter. Here's some interesting stats. I'm not going to go through teams and all that kind of stuff. I'm mostly going to talk about balanced teams, elite teams, melee horde teams, and ranged horde teams. And what's super interesting about this is there's only one team over, type of team overall who has a positive win rate.
Really? Of all those teams?
Yeah. So check this out. So balanced teams for me include Void Dancers, Orc Commandos, Hierotech, Blades of Cain, Corsairs, Hand of the Archon, Warp Coven, Exaction Squad, Hunter Clade, Scout Squad, and Farstalker Kinban. And the reason how I chose these teams is if they have fewer than 11 models, but more than 6, and they don't mainly focus on just shooting or just fighting in melee. You can say that Orc Commandos might be a melee horde, but I think that they have enough shooting that it makes them very much balanced. In fact, they're probably the best overall round team. Elites, we have anything with 6 models or less: Phobos, Legionary, Intercession, a Strike Force, Justian. Sorry, I want to say Justinian, Timberlake. For melee hordes, we have Felgor, Chaos Colts, Gellerpox, and Blooded. And for ranged hordes, we have Wormblade, Novitiates, Inquisition Agents, Pathfinders, Vet Guard, Star Striders, Navy Breachers, Hearthkin Salvagers, and Kasserkin. Okay, so those are the teams that when you lump a bunch of them together, so sometimes when you lump all the elite teams together, they just fucking suck. So they're going to have a really bad win percentage just because they're not great currently, right? So the most interesting thing. Whoa! Did I just see what I think I saw?
Whoa!
Phobos jumped up to a 49% win rate this week.
I blame David.
Yeah,
David.
Yeah, David. David's been a rock star.
He's cheating. He's making his own team in this stats better.
By playing
last
them
week
and just being good.
Yeah, last week I think they were or 2 weeks ago they were at a 44% win rate. So whoever's playing them are doing the Emperor's work. So that's surprising. It's the only Phobos. That's the only elite team that's actually doing well currently. But I'll give you guys. I'll minus one of those. The elites themselves overall have a win percentage of 44%. That's including Phobos, Legionary, Intercession, and Justian. So out of balanced melee horde and ranged horde, everyone in this can that listening can also guess. What is the only type that has a positive win percentage? And it's by a lot, by the way.
Horde or elite?
No, elite has a negative. So we have balanced, melee horde, or ranged horde.
Oh, it's got to be melee horde. No,
Ranged.
no,
Ranged.
no, ranged.
Giacomo, you should have stuck with your first instinct.
Oh,
It is
really?
melee horde. So Felgor Ravagers, Chaos Cultists, Gellerpox, and Blooded averaged together have a 54.12% win rate.
Excuse me, sir.
See, I was
Ravagers
thinking
have
that,
10 operatives.
cults were getting slapped. So
Ranged, you have to remember Kasserkin are involved, which dropped the team down immensely.
That's right.
They have a 42% win rate right now.
I still think they're not great, but I like their changes, I guess.
They are Kasser Knots officially.
So are Felgor in the Horde category?
Felgor are because they have 10 operatives that only focus on melee. Literally.
Oh, I thought you said it's under 11. Is normal?
standard.
Well, anything that's like 11 and up has to be in a horde category.
Right.
Okay.
Just by default.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Or
yeah,
anything more than 11. Yeah.
would that put Felgor in standard then? Because they're 10?
Exactly, they're 10.
Yeah, but they only have melee. They are not a balanced team whatsoever. You're telling me that you're going to put
that's what
melee.
you're referring to.
Yeah, they're in a
Gotcha.
melee horde team.
Because when you said balance, it makes more sense. So like they have a mix of both.
Correct.
Gotcha. Now this is one where I always think like Void Dancers is weird because they're 3 APL, but they're not an elite.
Mm-hmm.
They always throw me off, but I guess I'd have to put them in balanced.
So the other interesting thing about this is that we've broken down all the stats for like total average score, for wins, for losses, so on and so forth. But Melee Horde, not surprisingly, also has the highest average score of all other teams. And that's specifically because they have Seek and Destroy. Like every single one of those teams, I believe, has Seek and Destroy, which is one of the most you can score 5 on quite regularly. In fact, yeah, which is very interesting. So, but yeah, there's some very interesting stats here. Is there anything else that you guys want to like? Oh, here's another one. Here's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The elites have a top placing percentage of 11%.
Between all the elites?
Between all the elites.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, I have no reference of comparison.
That is,
What's average
I think
placing
that-
percent?
I think that average is even wrong. So let me go back. That's just adding up all of their percentages together.
What?
So on average, they have about a 3% placing rating.
There you go. Even worse.
Yeah, it's way worse.
Like you almost can not place with them.
Yeah, Legionaries has the highest out of the elites. So
Thank you, Shane.
yeah, thanks, Shane. No, I don't think Shane's
He
actually
hasn't
played them
this season.
He hasn't
I
played
guess the season
this
probably
data
reset,
slate.
right?
Yeah, so this is just data from this data slate. So it goes from December 14th until the next data slate comes out.
I'm still going to say thank you, Shane, because he taught many other players how to play Legionnaires like a pro.
Yeah, they pick it up from there.
He is the reason why they're the second most popular team out there. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's like it's not that chaotic.
I have
it's just
no
popular.
proof. No
And then,
evidence.
they haven't had another Marine team, which they're about to get one. And eventually, when friggin' Nightmare drops.
Don't get started on that one just quite yet. That's a sore subject for many of us.
For me, yeah. That's one of the few miniature ranges I want to buy this year.
So, Alex, is there any team that you specifically want to know a little bit more stats about, so we don't dwell too long in stats?
How's Inquisition doing? I'm wondering because I'm alone here.
You're alone here?
I'm alone in my part of the world.
Well,
That's not true. I know Jason is also playing Inquisition, but he's kind
Yeah.
of far.
Shout out to Jason.
They have no, that's Intercession. Whoops. I was going to say they have a 42%
The other
win rate.
Inquisition.
The other one with the eye.
Yeah, the other I team. They have a 51% total win rate.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
They're doing quite well. They have a placing percentage of 26%, which is 6% higher than average.
26?
Yeah.
Elites combined have 11?
Combined, yes.
God damn, they suck. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's shocking.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's like they have half of Inquisition's placing percentage. So what anyone wants to know, the placing percentage is the number of the number of tournaments that they've been at compared to how many placings they've done. So, which, you know, let's talk about the beast in the room. Commandos still have a 52% win rate, 52% placement rating, and they haven't placed in any tournament in the past 2 weeks that I know of. And in American tournaments, American. No, that's a lie too. I think Magnolia Open. We should talk about Magnolia Open.
Yes.
So, Commandos have a 52% placement rating, which I think has dropped from the 55% where it has been in the past.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that's still twice of Inquisitions. So
impressive.
even though Orc Commandos have a 52% win rate, they're placing really well. So Magnolia Open, a bunch of Kel team players from San Diego flew literally across the country. This is Jimmy Kelly and his son Jeshua. Went to Ben Campbell's Magnolia Open, which had a golden ticket. And I believe Jeshua won the golden ticket. And the final matchup for that event was Gellerpox into Felgor. And we've already seen, like, Orion proved it at Adepticon as well, that's a really bad matchup for Felgor. Essentially what you do is you take, you tech infect their war paint, and then you take a bunch of stinger swarms and you just stun all the Felgor, and then you win.
You heard it here. That's exactly how to beat them.
That's pretty simple.
Oh yeah, they can taint your stockpile, right? They can take only one and that's it?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Useless.
Yep. That's how you win. So Jeshua won with Gellerpox, and I believe Dawson got second. I'm not sure who got third. Forgive me, whoever got third. But Jimmy got fourth with Felgor. Beat by his own son.
His son is, he's taken the pride.
He taught him well.
Yeah, taking the Kel Force. Gel Force?
The Kel Force. The Gel
Or is it Gel Force?
You choose the Jelly Force.
The Jelly Force? Oh, I like that.
It's a soft force.
Yeah. So essentially, the two new golden tickets from America that happened in the past week, or 2 weeks, I should say, is Jeshua Kelly and now Shane from Command Point. So pretty cool. Pretty exciting.
Was it a golden ticket event?
It sure was. I think they had 30. I think they had like 8 drops. So I think they had 30 players, but they had like 38 sign up.
It happens, people are going to, it happens. Life happens.
It sure does. There's been a lot of drops lately for Kill Team events. Even Adepticon dropped almost nearly, I think, 15 players. I think they sold out at 72, and then only 54 showed up.
Oh, I thought they were at 60. Oh.
Yeah, I think there was 60 that were there, but apparently there's a lot of people who bought 40K and Kill Team tickets, and so if they did poorly in Kill Team or in 40K, they were going to come over and play Kill Team. But
dang, they're buying those tickets so other people who wanted to just play Kill Team couldn't have.
Yeah.
Hey, but if you can afford it, whatever, you power to you, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty fascinating from these past 2 events to see the Hyrotech kind of rise up in the meta. Maybe they're going to be the new boogeyman. If everyone had to guess after this next data slate, who is going to be the new boogeyman?
Is it an existing team only, or can we say new ones?
You could say new ones. I don't give a fuck.
Brood Brothers.
You think Brood Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
What if they don't come out?
Optimistic.
What if they don't come out in like 3 months?
It's a Christmas box, G.
Are we
The grip.
are we doing it based on that? Like, because otherwise, I'm thinking.
Dude,
Okay,
I heard some of these Brood Brother rules from this video, and they scare me. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll talk about it in a moment. That's why I'm thinking Brood Brothers is going to be the team that's like
Overtuned?
they'll look like paper thin, and then you'll realize the rules are like rock solid.
That's fair. Okay,
That's
so
what I'm
you're
thinking
going-
is going to happen.
You think that they're gonna come out? Do you think now, G? Do you think they're gonna come out like right after Nightmare, or do you think that we're gonna be waiting for another 4 months until July
not
25th?
Not 4 months. I think they'll do a March release, and then they're probably going to do like a May release. And
You
the only
think so?
reason I think so is because Atomic Mass Games is releasing their Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff in May. So that's like a release window to get people to start buying that, or they're going to wait till after that and then do it in June, in the summer.
No way they're gonna do it in June.
You don't think
Absolutely
so?
no way. No, because AOS 4th edition's coming out, or whatever the fuck edition.
Okay, you're
it
right.
is.
So then maybe
So-
before. Maybe they will do May.
So like when we saw, I could definitely see May, because like we had back to back releases right before 10th edition, and then 10th edition happened, and they're like, "Yo, Kill Team's the
40K.
redheaded stepchild again."
Dude,
That's what happened.
Kill Team's been dyeing their hair, I guess, because they're still as popular. There was the one thing I'd heard about way back when, where supposedly GW wasn't ready for how explosively popular this game was going to be.
Mhm.
That they just used like model kits, upgrade sprues, and duct tape to make the next set.
I mean, look at Brew Brothers, right?
What surprised me at Brew Brothers, I actually saw a couple of Exaction Squad bits there. Like
Really?
they have RBD shotguns. I think something else. Oh,
Well,
and
I
the
mean-
baton, repression baton.
Well, what's gonna be a Gene Stealer cult member without some sort of like neophyte weaponry?
I can see the shotgun, but at the same time, that shotgunner, it has a Gene Stealer hand where it's becoming two hands in one.
Yeah,
So-
it's not exactly the same bits, but it's
But I get
the
it.
same
I get you.
sculpts. It's yeah.
So
Imperial
Valrak was right again. We have the Pioneers, though the name is wrong. The Jaegers
Mm-hmm.
versus the Brood Brothers, and the Brood Brothers were the upgrade sprue, which is interesting. So, but the other thing is that the Brood Coven already exists, right? I
Mhm.
think Alex sent us pictures of it.
Yes,
Yep.
the 5.
It is a box.
Essentially a command squad.
It's like a dark commune of Gene Stealer cult.
Yeah, so that's interesting. They took basically the brand new Cadian kit, and then they threw a bunch of Gene Stealers. They defiled it, defilers, with Gene Stealer cult bits and pieces. And I remember I was down in San Diego working when this first came out, and I was like, "Oh, it came out!" I was looking at them, and I didn't watch the whole video, of course. I just watched like the very beginning of it. I watched the whole video right before this podcast because I didn't realize they had it until Giacomo was like, "Yeah, most of the rules are out." I was like, "Wait, what? The fuck you talking about? How did I miss this?"
Or at least
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
the general idea of how the rules are going to function.
Yeah, I was driving for like 20 something hours.
So I don't blame you missing that. Now, Alex,
And then-
he wasn't driving at all. He should have. No, I'm kidding.
And then I was filming for 20 hours this week. So
We
yeah,
filmed
Alex,
a
what's
lot.
your excuse? You
I
have a-
got it erased from my memory. I was so uninterested in this box, I just forgot it existed.
Dude, I
I
hated
was
on
like,
this
"Oh
box
yeah,
too.
Mandrake's the next box." Like, the latest news.
That's fair. That's fair. I remember you saying that you were not interested in this team at all. Now, after hearing some of the rules, does it make you more interested?
In
No,
Brood
I'm just
Brothers,
afraid.
absolutely.
I'm just waiting for the broken game again.
What makes you excited, Alex, as a kill team player? Because we know Games Workshop listens to this podcast. It doesn't.
We don't know
Fun
if that's true,
teams
actually.
that use interesting mechanics to play, but that they're not broken entirely.
Really? Because
That
I
are not broken entirely. They're broken a little.
I
No.
thought you were going to say like the models because What about these new coming up rules make you skeptical, Alex? Because some of these teams look dope.
Think about last time they made somebody activate twice per game or something like that. So basically, Frenzy broke the game big. They're still repairing it, and now there's going to be a huge model that might controls other models and takes 2 turns at 2 activations a turn.
I think it was Blaine on Command Point's Discord tagged me in a comment that I laughed so hard at. He was like, "Hey Dakotah, look at who would have guessed 2 teams that can't die, first place and second place at Adepticon." Lol. And I just laughed so hard because it's so true. I could definitely see.
I actually played that matchup against Jonathan once, and I think by the end of the turning point, we lost only 3 models from the board.
I've heard that the matchup is very slow.
It is.
Very slow in multiple ways. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Higher Tech are great at denying your opponent from doing whatever they want to do, which to me is just like innately not great for the game. And then Felgor also do that by saying like, you can't fucking kill me because I said so. Unless if you're a Hexorcist, and then you can say so. But that's besides the point.
But he's only one man.
He is only one man.
Only one man.
We don't yet have a whole team that can deny.
Oh, that would be a team I would be excited for. Like
Alex just
upgrades proof for Necromunda Cawdor Redemptors or something like that. That's amazing. Just a kill team of crazy monks. Amazing.
I could see that. I could see that.
I think there will be a day where the 2 games will cross over, but I don't know if we're there yet.
I want to see Necromunda crossover. That would be amazing. There's so many good models in Necromunda. They need some kill team rules for sure.
But then everyone's going to like say more Imperium stuff because technically they would, if you had to default them, they'd be an Imperium team.
They definitely would be. But then you could get like the Van Sar and all those kind of guys, and
they'd be cool.
The Goliaths and shit. Yeah, it'd be dope.
It'd be cool.
What if the Space Hulk crushed into Necromunda instead of this Beta Decima mistake?
So again, that's like I'm saying, it'll cross over Necromunda eventually, just not yet. That's another season in the making.
Call it the Underhive.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the making. Don't worry.
All right.
Or at least I'm guessing anyway.
I'll wait patiently.
Yeah, Giacomo has all the insider scoops. Breaking NDAs here.
If I even had one.
Yeah, exactly.
NDAs.
Oh, silly. We will never sign. Okay, so we are going to move on to some of the new teams. Now, the most fascinating thing about Nightmare is we don't know shit.
Nothing. I mean, you can just by looking at the models, though, like there's some obvious things I expect from the teams.
Like they had one article. They had a couple things that they said on the Twitch stream and stuff. And I'll kind of summarize those right now. So what we know about the Legionaries or the Nightmare Legionaries is they can somehow stop shooting because they're super sneaky in the shadows. So somehow they have some kind of like, maybe they have domino field type rule, something. And then they have a Space Marine on a stick that looks like it probably gives some kind of aura of fear. Right?
Yeah.
They have that's kind of what they said about the team. And then they like to stab things and they're terrifying.
They feel like a melee elite team.
They're definitely a melee elite team that somehow doesn't cross over with Legionaries. And I'm if I had to guess what this team is actually going to do is going to be something with terror. I think they're going to have a lot of terror abilities.
Right.
Maybe
APL.
maybe they reduce APL from a bunch of people if they get too close.
Yep.
And then they stab things and then you can't shoot them if they're too close to terrain, I guess. Which seems like broken to me.
Or something. I think they're going to have infiltrate and I think they're going to have seek and destroy. For archetypes. Because we've seen security and no elite team's not going to have seek and destroy.
I agree. If they didn't, it'd be bad.
And
But
infiltrate
they'd
makes
have
sense. right?
infiltrate and security? No.
Like, no, that makes no sense. He can destroy and infiltrate. That feels right.
I could see that. I'll agree with you there. Do you think
Yeah.
they're going to have like the terror ability, or do you guys think they're going to have something else? Do you guys have any guesses?
I'm thinking the same thing. Where if you get too close to enemy models, like they lose APL, so it's easier for you to control objectives. Something like that.
How about you, Alex?
It's hard to tell, to be honest. What is the terror ability referring to?
So Phobos have their Reavers. They have
Oh,
something
that
called
thing.
terror. Yeah. If you're on an objective or close to an objective, you -1 APL for controlling objectives.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the territories I'm not sure about because the reason why melee teams are good in melee, it's either you cannot hit them back or they don't die. So a simple theme would be like 5-up, feel no pain, or haha, striking on death, or hardened vet all over again, just ignoring a punch. No idea, to be honest. I'm thinking the Space Marine on the stick will be big because it sounds like that. Not Primarch. What was the big bug in
Patriarch.
called? Patriarch. Yeah,
The dad.
doing similar things. Like this guy will activate for you, and that guy will steal ability from you and do it for you. Yeah,
That could be cool.
Yeah.
looks like they start messing with those rules.
And I mean, gunners are the same: heavy gunner, regular gunner.
Yeah. They just look like Legionary with probably like 5 attacks.
Maybe
They don't. The rules, the models themselves don't like inspire me to think that they have like something that's like super interesting.
right. I
about
think
the team.
their melee weapons are probably going to be beefed up. That's what I'm thinking. Something like that. The poison blade guy's kind of cool. I think he might do mortal wounds, and it looks like he has like a poison bomb on his body, but that could just be modeling.
Very well could be. I think that the guy with 2 knives is going to be maybe just like he gets to strike first in close combat, like
the
other
Shrike Talon.
Legionary model.
Shrike Talon.
Yeah, they're just Legionaries skinned. Like if you play League of Legends, they just have a different skin. You know,
Like what? Yeah, like watch
Yeah,
these
that's
were
what they
other
feel like.
legionaries they wanted to make, and they were like, we didn't put them in the initial box, but we have enough to make another team, so let's make another team.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes me curious about this box. I have no idea what you can put on top of an elite team to make a new one. So we'll see.
So the Mandrakes excite me a lot more because they are super interesting. And after seeing the rules, hearing the rules from Brood Brothers and the Jaegers, I'm just going to go crazy with my guess.
Go crazy.
It's not super
Wow.
crazy. It's not super crazy. I think they're going to be able to just ignore terrain.
Yeah, I think they're going to phase through things, teleport.
And I would assume that they're going to be super melee with Balefire. I'm going to take a guess at the Balefire weapon. Probably 6-inch range,
Probably does
3-4 damage, mortal wounds 1.
Ooh, really? You think a mortal wound on a standard weapon?
Yeah, why not? And then their melee will probably be 5 attacks. Probably like 3-5. And then probably 3-5. And maybe they'll have like rending or something like that, and they'll be able to like attack from concealment. I don't know.
What do you think their team rule will be?
Ignoring all terrain.
Yeah. And 4-inch movement?
Fly with keyword.
See, the Jaegers took my original ability from them. So I was kind of lost for words, and they are like shadow demons that can just like pop in and out of shadows.
Yep.
So maybe they can like, maybe they can just teleport all over the board as long as they're within 1 inch of terrain and 6 inches away from enemies or some shit, you know?
Right.
That would be sick.
I think they're going to get to do something like that. A lot of movement abilities.
That would be super, super cool as a team. I'm
'Cause they
liking
don't
it
have
more
a
and
single
more and
ranged
more.
weapon, so like it's just one of
They
those.
have-
Like, whoa,
They have the
fireball
Balefire.
thing, yeah,
Yeah, the little fire things.
that's what I mean though. Like not like a ranged weapon. You know, no one's sitting
Yeah,
in the
well-
back, so you got to get really close with this team.
While all their models kind of look different, I'm worried that if they get the Felgor treatment and all of them are like special models, I'm not going to be able to tell what the fuck is what.
Yeah, every time I look at them, I go, maybe this is the leader because of the little wing thing they have. But I don't feel like a leader would be hiding behind the wing. Usually most leaders are like, they're very upfront and you know exactly which ones they are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing I worry about the team. But, if we eventually
look
figured
a
out
lot-
which ones the Felgord looked like, we could do it here.
They look a lot like Blades of Cain, actually. So I would not be surprised if it's
Let's
7
just-
warriors and special rules.
Let's just hope they're not as. Let's just hope they're not as hard to play or have as much mental load as Blades of Cain. I think that's the number one downfall of the team. The one reason why I haven't played them and I don't have I want to play them, but I just don't think I'm going to. The Blades of Cain is just so complicated for no reason. It's very unfortunate. The game, the team seems fun to play, but it just seems like, why would I want to play a team that's so overly complicated when I'm going to be worrying more about my rules than I am going to be actually playing the game?
Yeah, it's the same way Warp Coven is. Half of the rules is just not on the table. It's your boons and spells, and you have to keep track of them and select them wisely.
Upgrade sprue and duct tape to fix the problem, right? There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that we're going to see it's so obvious that some of these models from the Nightmares are you have the dude with the big cudgel. He's probably going to be the what's the dude? The killer dude?
The butcher?
The butcher, he's going to probably have some kind of damage profile like him.
Like Reap, something like that.
Yeah, I think they're all probably going to give terror. And then when you're around the big thing, it's going to give more terror. And then you can't shoot them if you spend CP or something like that.
Right, cost
seems-
the able to fire or something.
I think they're definitely going to be but here's the thing. The other two teams, the Brood Brothers and Jaegers, are so insane
Compared to
that
these
we
two.
could obviously just be super, super wrong. And
Right.
I can't wait to follow up on this and say how fucking wrong we were. Or they're going to do what they did for Blades of Cain and be like, here's the battle report. Here's half of a rule of this and half of a rule of that. And then everyone thinks that they're messing up their moves when they're moving through terrain. And really it's just Beta Decima being Beta Decima. So they didn't mess up. It's just Beta Decima. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. I will say, moving on to Brood Brothers and Jaegers, unless if you guys have anything else to say about these two teams.
Nada.
If you guys have guesses in the comments, or not comments, but
I guess I have to say their archetypes. I don't know what Mandrakes would have. Maybe
Recon and Seek and Destroy.
no. I think it's going to be Recon and Infiltrate, something dumb
Felgor
like that.
copycats. No, I gotta say, it's the first time I'm excited about an elf team.
You
I'd say
actually,
it's
are you into
Recon,
Mandrakes?
Infiltrate, and Seek and
Kinda.
Destroy.
Ooh,
Oh yeah.
three. Fuck it,
Why
give them
not?
security too.
Security. I'm writing it down. Security. Of all four. All four.
Just
Why
in case
not?
they need it.
Crazy elves.
Are they elves or demons?
They are elf
were
demons
elves.
from the Shadow Warp.
Can they be
Correct.
ghosts? I kind of see them as the girl from the Ring.
I
They
would
look alikes.
I would tell you that I think so. I will say that I'm much more excited for these models than I am for Brood Brothers and Jaegers.
Oh yeah, hands down.
These models look super fun and super interesting, but I think the rules for that box, what is it? Kill Team Traitor? Kill Team Terminator?
Termination.
I'm going to call it Kill Team Terminator.
Uh-huh.
The
Kill Team
Judgment Day.
Terminator doesn't look like that great.
But the rules are cool.
The rules are cool as fuck. Let's not lie.
But I'm not the biggest fan of the models, and that's okay. It's not for me. It's for someone else who likes them.
Well, firstly, they have some super power cells for Beta Decima.
Oh yeah, the two buildings.
Alex, are you going to be designing these for your, what do you call it?
Sector AlfaBetrium.
Sector AlfaBetrium. So anyone doesn't know, he has a Yeji.
What?
Where do you post your 3D models?
Oh, Thingiverse.
Thingiverse. So he
Thingiverse,
Yeah.
yeah.
has a Thingiverse, and you have a very good Beta Decima 3D printing set that you've
Oh, thank
put
you.
up there. Yeah, it's very good. Are you going
wish
to
the
be
game
making
was
these as
better.
well?
Probably not.
It's fair.
Yeah.
You know,
Base
if
game
they-
is enough.
If they included these, Beta Decima might be better
I don't
just
think so.
because
Where do they
just-
go? Actually, I didn't even pay attention to those.
what these big things?
Yeah, where do they go? In
They
the
go on
center
your
of the
open board
or-
terrain that's not Beta Decima.
They aren't part of the crit ops because they weren't released. So I don't think you use them in competitive play. They're just really tall containers.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, that's why I ignored them entirely. Oh, they're really tall. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, they're very tall. Use them in your open terrain.
Yeah. I think they're pretty cool looking.
They kind of look like your towers.
They kind of do, just really thin. It almost looks like somebody took a 3D model and then like stretched it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. Yes, and the oval door used to be round.
Yep.
Okay, I see it now.
Yep. A little bit, right?
Yeah.
If they included this model in Beta Decima, and the how many times can I say Beta Decima on this fucking podcast?
Too many.
Yeah, too many times. If they included this in the main set and in the crit ops rules, maybe it would have been more competitive because it actually has fully line of sight blocking terrain, and it doesn't make like Pathfinder's like, at least you can hide something.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
And looking at that shot from Adepticon reveal, now we know that they also painted the bottom of the gantries. That's outstanding.
Yep.
Outstanding.
They had an
I
answer
didn't
and
paint
definitely
mine.
hit that.
Mine are still black.
Let's move on to these Jaegers.
I think
So-
they're going to move 5 inches, just saying that. I wanted to start with saying that.
Yeah, that's why I said 4 inches. I thought we were talking about them, but you know.
We are
So
now.
I'm going to coin this
Too
term.
soon.
Okay.
They have a mine layer, a bomb guy. And what is this team called? Jaegers, right?
Mhm.
So this guy's going to be yeeting a
Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
Hey.
I'm going to throw my Jaeger bomb over here.
Yeah, because that's one of their rules that was kind of revealed is they get to drop real and dud mines.
So they all have some kind of pistol. I'm going to guess it's like a 4.5, AP1 pistol.
It's probably the bolt pistol, the normal one they have, which is just like on the standard guys, 3-4 damage, nothing special.
I doubt that. I think that these guys are going to have souped up close combat guns
Only the
because they
double
actually.
pistol guy will.
Well, does the double pistol guy have the same gun as these guys?
Mm-mm.
He does.
He has
So
extra-
these are all, I believe. No,
they're different.
no. There's a
Yeah,
couple that have him. There's a couple that have that gun.
That's the
Like,
this dude
the
has a
leader?
pistol. Dude, he has
There's-
a special shotgun.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I
maybe
thought
not.
it was a pistol too, but it's a shotgun.
They're very confusing now.
Yeah.
So they have shotguns, more shotguns. The kill team loves shotguns. They have a
combat.
robot with a shotgun. It's going to probably turn on them one day because they're heretics. They have a bunch of knives. And the chick with the double knives looks like she's having way too much fun.
Oh yeah, the double plasma blade lady.
I'm not going to lie. I really dislike how they painted that face. It's very, I don't like the highlights, but that's besides the point.
All I can think about now is how many layers of clothing the sniper has. It's power armor, a coat, and then a camo cloak. And there's probably something under power armor.
There has to be
God damn.
his fur.
They're cold.
I like the person with the little little Ushanka looking hat next to the leader, the Than. It looks like they have looks like
Oh, yeah, I see
missile
it.
pod weapon,
Oh yeah,
Wow.
the missile pod looks like it's a sniper missile pod.
like maybe a mortar for all we know. Like you set it up and fire upward. Could be cool.
Could be. Maybe
Who
it
knows?
has indirect.
Ooh,
So they have a lot of plasma knives. What is the plasma knife profile? Does anyone know offhand?
4-4 vortex.
No, I think it's.
It can't be
Oh,
that
yeah.
bad.
Damage
It can't
is
be
5, I
that
think.
bad.
The crit damage is 5 probably.
No, I think it is 4/4. Let's find out, everyone. Everyone, rush to Wahapedia.
We are. That's
Whose
literally
internet
what
can
we're all
load
doing.
faster?
I
Not
have
mine.
but you type way faster, G, than I do. So, like, it's like that's just like objectively true.
Okay. Plasma knife. 4
3-5.
attacks. 4 up. 3-5. Lethal 5 up.
3-5.
3-5.
That's not bad. But I mean, it is
3-5,
4
lethal
attacks.
5?
That's what makes it good.
So there's a lot of dudes with 4 attacks, 3-5 damage. Now the question is, are all these guys going to have, and chicks, going to have 7 wounds or 8 wounds?
Yeah,
Probably 8, yeah. And 3 ups armor save because they're
I
all.
think they're gonna have 4.
No, they're in the same. If you look at the pictures, they're in the same power armor.
Look at that. It's a different one. They have the same top, but the bottom's different.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, they're Phobos. They're dwarf Phobos.
Yeah, they're wearing slightly lighter armor because they have to ride on the bikes.
Phobos still have a 3-up save.
Yeah, but they're Space Marines.
Fair.
They have less wounds, though. Maybe they'll have less wounds and better armor save. Who knows?
So what's his name? Elliot said, the lead designer said that they're going to have a lot of models, but they're not going to have a lot of models. They're going to be an elite team that's not an elite team. To me, that just means that they're going to have 10 models. I don't know what he was trying to say by his thing, but I would think that they're going to have 10.
3 up save then.
I think they'll have 3-up save.
I think it's a 4.
That's fair. Giacomo's guessing the house that he bet at the beginning of the episode on 4.
Yep. You guys
fair.
betting on 3?
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
Cool.
1,000%. Another interesting thing is that they have a bunch of bombs they can place out there, and then they said that they have bombs that they can, like, the tokens have, like, you can place a bunch of fake bombs, and when you flip them over, they're a real bomb or fake bomb. Like, you just don't know.
Oh, that's nice.
Mind game.
I don't know if that's going to be a part of competitive or if that's just going to be like, hey, I'm going to put 10 bombs down on the ground. But
I think it absolutely be part of
if it
competitive,
is,
'cause you're going to be
I'm
like,
down for that.
Do I take this risk and die, or do I not do that?
So my favorite thing is when I was talking about these guys before I knew anything about them, I was like, they just seem like Space Marine scouts, but in dwarf form. And I think I was very right.
They do. But if you introduce bluff mechanic, I'm all sold for it.
Bluff mechanics
So-
are fun.
Does that mean you're going to main them instead of Inquisition?
Probably not. I'm too lazy. I already have Inquisition.
What if these
Yeah.
were a part of
But
Inquisition?
they won't be.
They will be on the receiving end of the Inquisition.
Okay.
He's going to read the rules. He's going to be like, hey, I built dwarves. He's going to text us. that I built
You cannot
dwarves.
tell.
In like 3 weeks. So they have. So Elliot said that these guys are all about sabotage, assassination, guerrilla warfare, and then he specifically said the Jaegers for deploy basically all their models.
Which is why I think they're going to just have the regular 5-inch movement.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's an advantage, though, because they'll already be ahead. It's okay at that point, you know?
Yeah, I mean they'll be better than Hearthkin.
Does it mean they will be slower
me in
than
the book.
Hearthkin? Because Hearthkin's movement cannot go below 5 even if they're injured.
Maybe,
Can't go below. Yeah, you're right. Can't go below 5.
but I will tell you this. No, I think if they're injured, they still go down to 4. But that's besides
No, they don't because that's their special
Is
kill
they
team
always get
ability that
+1.
they always
being
they always
injured
get 5.
supersedes the movement.
Correct, but they're already at minimum of 4, and their abilities, whenever they make a move action, you can move an extra inch.
Supersedes their movement.
Damn. That's the only lifeline they had.
So when we, if I'm wrong, tell us down in the comments, or if they're wrong, tell us in the
You have,
comments.
you have to tell us on Discord,
Exactly. Yeah. And
because I'm pretty sure you're wrong, but that's all right.
when I say comments, I mean like our Discord channel specifically for the pod. I think the team is going to be fun. I think they're going to be okay. They're going to throw a bunch of mines up front. They're going to do some scout stuff and probably be just as good as scouts, but
Well, they have a different
Probably
mechanic,
worse 'cause
remember?
they're
They
slow.
they have tokens that they get throughout the game that let them either heal or do like better shooting, things like that.
so they just have
They do not have grudge tokens. Grudge tokens
just have
do criticals.
They just have Hand of the Archon tokens, and
Essentially,
then
it's kind of like, they're sort of getting pain tokens, but
So
they might be getting it from getting, who knows, objectives or planning mines or something instead.
so really this team is just a mix between Scouts and Hand of the Archon
Has a lot of
and
abilities.
Hearthkin.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, I think this team could easily jump out early on points because you're just not starting in your deployment zone, or at least that's what they made it seem like. Which is kind of wild. I thought that I was going to guess that ability for the Mandrakes.
No, I don't know what they're going to have.
Also, the Bombast. Who's the Bombast? Do we know who the Bombast
Double
is?
pistols.
So the Bombast gets to shoot before anyone does at the top of his turn.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume it's an ability.
So what's interesting is that Games Workshop is starting to break a mechanic that we've had stable in Kill Team since the beginning.
Breaking sequences.
And it's going to be very interesting to see how things proceed from here on out. Because what are they going to break next? You know,
if it's just like one guy on a team that can do it, it won't be so bad. If it's a whole team that can break sequences, it becomes a problem.
It also might be the testing ground for something more they have plans.
Yeah.
I mean, saying that. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not even rooting for it. You know, other people are. I wanted to say it just because.
That's fair. So they're going to have shotguns. They're going to have, close combat blades. Now, here's the bad part about this team. They have so many close combat weapons and combat blades. If they have a 4-inch move, they only have a 6-inch charge, which means that they have a 7-inch threat range.
Correct. But I don't think they're going to want to be doing seek and destroy stuff anyways. I think it's more defensive. They're definitely probably 100%. Recon and infiltrate.
This team is going to definitely... You're going to want to know what terrain you're playing on. The earlier, the better. And you're going to want to practice on that terrain because this team, like you said, definitely feels more reactive. Because even he said like their resourceful points is a reactive mechanic. So I'm guessing, that's exactly what it is, isn't it? So instead of them getting grudge tokens when one of their homies dies, they're just going to get a token that heals a model or gives another model probably within range.
Like an extra shot or gets to shoot while someone's charging them before that happens. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Like an out of sequence shot before someone finishes their charge, so they kill them before they make it?
You mean like guard?
Can guard do that?
Yeah.
Well, the target model can do that, yes, if it's on guard.
Well, I meant like, but like having a buddy who's like, they're charging that guy, a friend nearby gets to shoot him before then.
Well, if you're playing Exaction Squad, you can also do that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They do have it.
Yeah, so that team's going to be pretty interesting. Do you guys have any other guesses about this team, or did they spoil all the rules?
No, that feels right. I don't know what like strategic plays and tactical plays they'd have. I think the crossbow is going to be silent.
What's your all favorite model?
I like the guy with the shovel, but I don't know what he can do with that shovel.
The Jaeger bomb?
Yeah.
What if they?
He has 3 axes on his back, 3 shovels on his back. Do you have a favorite, Alex?
That's a good question. No idea. They were weird. I can't tell who's the leader.
I don't know the winner.
The sword and the.
I like the Jaegerbomb guy. The shell-less.
2 Jaegerbomb votes. My 2 favorites. I like the sniper. He's basically already a kneeling sniper, right?
Oh, that's my least favorite.
Is it?
As
wide as tall.
And then, he couldn't be kneeling as a sniper because he wouldn't be able to see any models. And I really like the two gun model.
The Bombast.
The Bombast.
It's a pretty badass model.
I think my least favorite model of the whole team.
It's the double knives.
No, I just don't like the way they painted the head.
Oh.
The highlights in it. I like the robots.
Is that a robot or just a helmet?
No, it's a robot.
It's a robot.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like the missile launcher lady. It's like way too insane. Like the gun is just
she
like
kind of has a lot going on. That's true.
she has metal feet. You know, it's fucking weird.
Her legs blew up. She became
Obviously.
a dwarf not by choice.
Yeah, that would be my least favorite. Aesthetically.
What I'm wondering is if they're gonna keep exploring, adding rules to your barricades as you place them, like
No, I don't
removing
think they're-
traversable for your opponent, for example,
I don't think they're going to have those abilities.
like to place some impenetrable barrier.
Yeah,
They won't have those.
I
They're
don't
gonna
think it's
have.
gonna be them.
They're gonna be the opposite of Hearthkin because the rules writers are spicy.
They got to change it, or else
We're so slow, but we're already in the fight.
right.
That
So it
makes
doesn't
us
matter.
Good. Yeah. I have more hope for them than I do Hearthkin.
I do too, but I'm still going to play Hearthkin. I like them anyways.
Did you paint them?
Giacomo's trying to get out of the
Not
book.
more than the 3.
So next, finally, we have the Brood Brothers, which is a cool team name.
Mhm.
There's no Brood Brother bomb that we know of, or kind of any weird alliteration. But their team looks like it's really easy to figure out of what it is. So he said that they are a veteran guard team, so they're going to have a lot of specialist weapons that they can probably take or take in general. I'm not a fan of how they painted the weapons on this team with the silver outline.
It's a little jarring.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
Very bold.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. The color scheme is cool outside of that.
The gray and red.
The gray and red. I do like that. Now, is that Skaven Blight Dinge gray?
I think so.
Like a warm gray?
Maybe it's
They
Ashen.
remind me of Blooded so much.
Blooded with fucked up faces.
Yeah, I hate
They
the
got
faces.
the Gene Stealer faces because that's what the Gene Stealers look like.
Yeah, they're Xenos and they
Exactly.
deserve to be burned.
Exactly.
And they have.
I
some
would replace
crazy-
them with original Cadian's heads, to be honest.
Then just play
So
Vet
the-
Guard.
They definitely have a comms. They have some kind of a bruiser. They have some kind of an icon bearer. They have a leader with a power sword and some kind of claw. So he'll probably have 2 different melee options. They have a normal guardsman, another normal guardsman, a melt-a-gun, a bolter guy, a sniper, some sort of medic. Then that's about all we kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're missing 4 other operatives. I'm going
It's
to
gonna be
guess
generic dudes.
I'm going to guess that they're all going to be some sort of generic. Maybe they'll have some sort of because I'm going to guess that this team is going to have 14 models. I think that this team, these models, you can take as a 14 model team, just like you do veteran guardsmen. So they'll probably have more. You'll probably need to buy 2 boxes if you want to take all the different models, and then we'll see. This what is this called?
The Patriarch.
You can just buy the box separate,
Brood
right?
Coven?
Brood Coven. If you guys want to get an early start on it, just buy the Brood Coven team.
I think it comes with this thing.
It does. So we have the Magus, who is pure psyker, who does some kind of supportive actions, and obviously they already have a healer. And they already have a comms person.
I don't think it's
So
a
what
medic.
you don't think that's a medic?
No, that guy. I have a Magic the Gathering card with this dude, and in the description, his whole point is he's putting the genes inside people so they can turn them Gene Stealers. That's his job. I don't think he's a medic.
Oh, interesting. So do you think it's going to have the blooded medic thing where you can
Probably
like the druggy dude, the guy who does drugs?
The Corpseman?
closer to that. Yeah, something where it's like, or he does things to opponents, like he wants to get in and go and inject them or something.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah,
Give people like +1 attack, +1 toughness, something
or
like that.
-1 to
Interesting.
opponents so they could. Force
That's
it on there.
really interesting. That's a good takeaway, G.
That's what I hope happens.
Yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah.
So then we have the Magos. So do you think the Magos is going to be able to heal people? I don't think he's going to get +1 APL because they definitely have a comms. You can't convince me otherwise on that.
That's a
giant
comms
model.
man. Yeah, that is a comms man.
That's 100% a comms man.
No, I think he's gonna. I think to the Magos maybe provide some like weird thing, like this guy gets a 5-up, feel no pain, or not feel no pain,
Like
invul
auras?
save. Yeah, auras abilities. Think more of like Inquisition auras, and you
Maybe
can throw
they
them
can
on a
hide
person.
better.
Yeah,
Okay, what do you think? What do you think, Alex?
I think I heard it's going to be a psyker in that video. Was
It
that
is.
yeah,
It's a supportive
so,
psyker.
Yeah, so probably some manipulation stuff like delaying your turn or blinding the model or something like that, or cursing your weapon, and
Okay.
probably a couple of buffs.
So do you think that he's going to be able to turn his like the other guys into like these tiny baby gene stealer dudes?
I honestly don't know what those are for.
I don't know what
There
those are
might
for
be
either.
might be Gellerpox equipment as far as I know. Yeah,
That would be interesting if they don't get equipment, but they get these tiny little dudes.
I hope they're GA too. They're just like skulking about, two of them doing whatever.
I don't know what those are. That's weird.
I don't know, but they're kind of fun to look at.
I like them.
The
I
little
like them a lot.
gremlins.
Yeah. They're gene stealer Gretchen.
I like it.
So the leader is supposed to be, what did they say he was? He was, I wrote extra P, and I don't know what that means.
There's the patriarch, and then there's the other guy, right? Is that the leader?
Yeah. So this other leader guy. So I don't know what extra P means, but I do know that he definitely gives some sort of advantage in the initiative phase, which might be a reason to take him nonetheless. I think that these two people will definitely act like the locusts. So you can probably only take two of them, or just take the main guy, or maybe you can take all three. That would be insane. But he gives some sort of bonus to initiative. He looks like he's a decent melee. He's probably a great melee unit, and shooting one.
Probably all
But
right.
the patriarch is going to be where it's all at, because this dude has insane rules.
Getting just getting the ability to control a model on your opponent's side that they own is already nuts. If that was their only ability, I'd be like, I'm sold.
Yeah. So not only can that model do this, he can force them to perform an action. So maybe, does that mean he can make a model shoot somebody else, or overwatch one of his own teammates,
Maybe.
or fight one of their own teammates?
Yeah.
Does that mean that you can make one of your opponent's models loot an objective that counts for you?
I'm going to assume.
What does that mean?
I'm going to assume if it does anything, it's going to be choose a model with 10 or less wounds as their starting amount, and you can do one of the following on a 4-up or something.
I could see that. So what's interesting is I think we first saw this in like 6th edition when Demons first came out. There was this Slanesh leader who, I forget her name off the top of my head, but she could cast a psychic spell and then make one of your models just do a move action in any direction that she wanted. I could see possibly being able to force one of your opponents to make a move action. Maybe he can force models to move or do a dash so that they can be like in the open, and then later in the turn you can shoot them. That'd be interesting. I have no idea. And then also he gets to activate fucking twice.
That's pretty rad.
Beautiful.
So he has to at least probably take up at least 3 to 4, I would guess 4 operatives at this point in time, him acting twice. He's probably hella fast. Heaven forbid anyone tries to convert this model or make a different model look like this model because of how big he is.
50 millimeter base.
I can already see problems with that. There's a dead Space Marine helmet on his base, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good model. That much I can say.
I
It's
mean,
gonna
what
be a
is a
strong
Gene
ability.
Stealer currently?
What was that?
What is the Gene Stealer's melee profile?
4 attacks, 4 or 5, I think.
Okay.
Oh, it could be 5 attacks.
Probably 5, yeah.
This is going to be the closest. This is literally the closest that we're going to be able to see to. So they have stock, which would be interesting if they have something like that, or a lurk ability, a feed ability.
I don't think the Patriarch's gonna get that ability. That's more of specifically for Gene Stealers. And yes, it is a Gene Stealer, but it's the patriarch, so it's more of like, the father of this brood.
I will say that we have seen little models be better than bigger models. So for instance, like Baby Reaver is just as good, if not better in some ways, as Daddy Reaver from
True.
Scouts to Phobos. With lethal 3s, for fuck's sake. So Gene Stealer profile is 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, or this is the leader. 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, 4/5 damage, relentless and rending. So we've seen the captain come out for Justian. So I'm wondering if he's also going to have 5 attacks, hitting on 2 pluses, 4/5 damage, relentless and rending as well, or if they're going to make it like 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, like 5/6. Just murder anything that you touch, literally.
I think that might be the direction. This model is horrible to look at. It's terrifying.
They also they all have a 5+ invul, so we can easily see it having a 5-up invul. I'm going to guess it probably has 16 wounds, something insane.
Yeah.
Other Gene Stealers have hidden horror, while this operative has the conceal order. It's always treated as having conceal, regardless of any other rules. Like, there's so many things that could go wrong with this model. It's going to be super controversial, to say the least. It's probably going to be a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, I think this is one of the ones with a cooler mechanic. And I hope it's not like using too many of like guardsman rules, because they did say this team was like a vet guard team.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up, that's what they said.
Yep.
But I don't think they're going to have a lot of those rules. I don't think they're going to have orders. I think they're going to do like synapse abilities instead.
If you were just going to play this team as vet guard, you should just probably play vet guard. Now, I don't know the rules, but
that's what I'm thinking too. Like, you got to take one of the big guys.
You have to take something, right? Unless if the team is just busted with 14 models. Like, these guys have GA. Oh, they can't have GA3. These guys, there's all these people have GA2 when you take the Patriarch. Oh my God. And he gets to activate twice. Oh. Imagine if he has GA2 with himself. Does he get to activate and then activate like again? You know, like
I don't think that's going to happen. But
I'm going to charge and kill 2 of these models because I can fight twice. Then I'm going to charge over here and kill 2 of these Space Marine models too. You only have 2 Space Marines left. My leader's dead. Get fucked. I'm excited. I think that this is a really fun time to be a part of Kill Team, to see this kind of craziness happen. I just don't want to wait another 4 months to see what these rules are. It's going to eat me alive inside.
I would like to see some rules, please.
That would be nice.
It would,
at least for Nightmare.
At least for Nightmare. That's yeah.
Please.
Did they forget
guys,
they had it?
So the other team can forward deploy. What do you guys think the Brood Brothers like special rule is going to be?
Oh, they're all sneaky, right? They can also deep strike, probably.
No, that is the other one. Is Wormblade. These guys are technically just guardsmen, and they're sleeper agents till they decide to activate and start. You know.
Yeah. In the video, they said that they are like some of the best on the planet. You know, like out of all veteran guard regiments, and then turn and they cause like a bloody mess.
Yes,
Okay.
Uprising. So
Strafing run.
I don't know. I don't know what their ability would be.
I don't think they're going to get guardsman orders. Maybe one of these models gives out guardsman orders.
No, I don't think so either. I think their whole job is to defend the. This is more like Hyrotech Circle, because the 3 main dudes are going to be the thing you want to take, and you kind of want to protect that guy because that guy's going to do like the big rules, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think that's where it's going to be.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, I have no clue. I can just make random guesses. So I will try to make a random guess. What would be an interesting weird mechanic that we currently don't do that they can break?
Activating an opponent's unit.
Yeah, I mean, that breaks. I mean, their leaders probably definitely break the game. But what if you don't want to take them? They still have to have some sort of innate ability that is interesting.
That's a tough
More
one.
of get down, Mr. President. Like, the Farstalker hounds, they can become a new target if you're fighting in melee, and these guys can run from around the corner to, jump in front of a bullet.
I guess, but that's not like...
I just wish that they had some real full gene stealers as well. Do you know how cool it would be to take like the Patriarch and like 5 like gene stealers if you just wanted to replace like 2 of these models cost 1 gene stealer to take,
I suppose.
I'm going to say they're also going to get elite points and they're just going to be busted. Or actually, I forgot, Kasserkin are Kasser so they just suck. So that'll just make the team worse.
Yeah, it's not going to be elite points. I don't know, but I think you got to take the leader every time. There'd be no real reason to take the additional models because I think the leader abilities are going to be what matters in this team.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Loot really likes a lot of models. And maybe if you're going into like Vet Guard, they might be able to target the Patriarch pretty hard, or Pathfinders can just put a bunch of marker lights on them and kill them super easily. So maybe the extra models would be good.
Who knows? The Patriarch could maybe be hidden and be like, I'm going to control that guy and I'm going to shoot the dude next to you. Or use the Grenadier first and have the grenade launcher blow up your friends.
Oh, I would lose my mind.
Amazing.
Who knows? That could happen. I don't know what the rules are.
I'm going to take your Meltagun and shoot your leader in the face because your leader doesn't have cover anymore. Oh my God. I'm going to take your Torment and kill your 2 mutants next to you.
I think they're only going to be able to do it to models with like 10 or less wounds, kind of like Hops can only arrest certain people.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a great take.
Because otherwise elites would be like, oh, you're fucked, dude. Like, get down to playing 5 models instead of a 6 model team.
I'm just going to take the Space Marine the entire game.
Double shoot my own guys. Oh, don't mind me. Bam, bam.
I'm going to run them off the map because technically there's no rule that doesn't say I can't go off the map.
Oh, yeah, huh? Oh.
I mean, there might be. I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
That's gonna become an FAQ. Watch, it'll become an FAQ. Like, you can't leave the kill zone.
So in order to concede, I was like, hey, I'm going to take this model. I'm going to run off the map this way. And next action, okay, I just surrendered there. Cool.
Thanks, man.
Patriarch just starts doing it to people,
because he can.
I'm going to take this model and jump into the ocean of Beta Decima.
Is the kill zone like the Pac-Man map? If you leave from the bottom, you appear on the top. So Alpha Strike never been easier.
Oh, Alpha Strike's never been easier.
Why has no one ever thought of this before?
Yeah. Well, thanks, Alex, for jumping on tonight. If you guys want to hear more of Alex's thoughts and more about Hobby Highlander, you guys can check out a podcast called Squad Games Redacted later this month, or possibly even later this week. It's going to be a lot of fun, and thanks for listening as always.
Yes, and that's going to be exclusive for our Patreon members. So, if you're looking to join, you absolutely can. We have our Patreon with different tiers, of course. Any tier is fine, or even just listen to this podcast is great support. We really appreciate it. Alex, can they find you anywhere? Are you anywhere?
I'm on Discord. I'm on Instagram, and I forgot what I'm called everywhere. So, if
I do. He just doesn't want to share it.
I know exactly.
And I'm not going to give it away because
I think Dakotah said it's Cactus Cat. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
I believe so.
Or
if you guys want to 3D print some Beta Decima terrain, make sure you go check out. Is it Cactus Cat?
Yeah, I have no idea actually what I'm called there for real. Just look up Beta Decima 3D print. It's probably the only one out there. Or AlfaBetrium Sector Alpha. Yeah,
so far,
like that. You're bound to find something. If you find it, it's good.
And you can find me on Instagram at wargaming_studios. And you can find us on Discord and join the conversation there. Tell us your opinions. Tell us what you think about the podcast. And feel free to give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
I think I found it. Is it Alpha Proxima oil rig?
No. It's
That's a different one.
AlfaBetrium. Sector AlfaBetrium.
Was that from Rick and Morty?
It was.
I thought so.
But it also misspelled alpha to match misspelled beta.
Incredible.
Amazing.
BH.
I have no idea. You guys can find it, though. It's not hard.
Until next time, guys.
Until next time.
Bye.
The Squad Games podcast is a production of Squad Games Entertainment. For more information on Squad Games, please visit our website at lestersworkshop.com/squad-games.